Hello, Marianne. Here we are to talk about Earth as teacher.
Hello, Karina.
And what what are our associations and assumptions and conclusions the moment we hear the word teacher?
Yeah.
Does that take us back to the good old times in school where we had to find the right answer and please our teacher to get a good grade? Or is the word teacher something totally different in the context of Earth as teacher? What is your awareness, Marianne?
Well, I'm really glad you're bringing this up because I know it was up in my world since we spoke about Earth as teacher. There was something about teacher that triggered me, and I was asking and being present with, and yes, it was like, wow, the Earth as teacher is something completely different, or the aspect of teacher teaching is has nothing to see with the mental teaching, as you mentioned. In school there is so much mental understanding, mental getting it, mental structures. And the teaching here, Earth as the teacher, has nothing to see with the mental layers.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I wanted to get it from a mental point of view, nothing happened more, nothing was there to receive.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, receiving, for me, I noticed by being more present with it that when I'm mental, when I'm tend to control and figuring it out and assuming and concluding and judging and all this stuff, there is truly no receiving. Then the energy is flattened in a matter of speaking, and at the same time, my body is so contracted. Like you
Mhm.
close the sack, you turn it and turn it around because you are in that mental process, but then all the air is going out, and it's not possible to get any air in that sack at that moment.
Yeah. And so it really, Earth as teacher really has to do with, I would call it being an energetic teacher and us being willing to receive those energies. Because even if I look at Earth as teacher, what I mean, me personally, what I have been learning, uh, I receive energies that I then sort of translate into words.
Mm.
And words are already on some level a mental state, and they can carry the energy if I'm congruent with what I'm speaking.
Yeah,
But from the earth, it truly is an energetic download.
yeah, yeah. Download.
So,
That's for sure. Yeah, and I get you when you say there is a kind of mental processing when you put the energy of the download or the receiving into words. That's something still the majority of us on earth needs to understand and to communicate and to, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But there is also
yes.
the being congruent with the energy. So if I can be congruent with the energy that I'm receiving from the earth, that I am perceiving that the earth is gifting me, then it's probably a lot easier to find the words for it
Mm-hmm.
than if I'm going mental, so to speak,
Yeah,
and force the translation.
yeah. And you know, you mentioned here this mental process to get some energies into the world through words. That's the mental process. And what I noticed also is the more I allow to not know what I'm going to say, to not know what is coming out, then I allow and I perceive also then that a lot more energy when
Mhm.
we are on this topic of earth as teacher is coming from the earth upwards, like an energy, and the mental process starts at the bottom and comes out through my mouth, not comes from my head
Down.
out of my mouth. There is another stream, there is another flow
Yeah.
when that processing, yeah, is going on.
I really like that analogy. That creates a beautiful picture, so to speak. And I can relate to what you're saying is because when I do the meditation with the earth, uh, the maximum I may cognitize is, oh, I'm going to start with gratitude today, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm going to start with receiving or whatever it is. But
Yeah,
then I shut up
yeah,
and let the words come,
yeah,
which is exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. It's like the part of the brain, literally the brain, don't have to work. It's
Yeah,
like relax,
yeah.
relax, and let it go. It is working because, yeah, we need our brain to talk, to get out words. So it's, in a matter of speaking, it is working, but it's not the first.
It's not in control.
It's not in control. It's not in control. Yes. And that makes it sometimes, I don't know what your experience is there, but then happens that I hear myself saying things that I never could say when I'm speaking from that mind, from that
Mhm.
mental process.
Yeah,
Because then I'm in control of every word I say, and I have to contract a lot
yeah,
and cut off a lot energy to get really to that what I want to say, and that is then related to what I think that's the right thing to say, what I think, yeah, everything I think and just about it I have to say, instead of when we are out of control and the energy may flow and then it comes out, we can receive also from ourselves through our words that's coming out in a
beautiful,
completely different way. Yeah.
beautiful.
And what this brings up also, Karina, because I notice more that this question's coming to me, not from me, but from clients or other people around me, as I'm speaking about lowering the barriers. Yeah, but what are barriers and how do you do that? That doing is also something really persistent in our world
Mhm.
instead of being. And lowering the barriers, I know when I heard it the first time, it was for me also something like, what the heck is that? And how do I have to do that? And the more often I allowed myself to hear that, or the facilitator, or the other person, or me, myself, saying, you don't have to figure it out. Your body knows.
Yeah.
I could more and more letting go of that mental process also there to lower the barriers to receive. And then I became more aware as a sudden how much or how easily the barrier that went down with our mental process, we pull up again, even within seconds.
Split seconds, yeah. And what is really also the thing, and we are so entrained to and taught to have the barriers up to protect ourselves. And if I look at that, that means I'm protecting me in here from something outside of me,
Yeah.
what is coming from the world. But if I look at the image of a barrier, doesn't it also prevent me from gifting out, from contributing, from being in a different way connected to other people? Because that wall is also blocking anything that
Yeah.
comes from my side, from the inside. Nothing gets out.
Yeah, so true, so true. And in the time I was up with other modalities, I following and about protection, and it was really like, yeah, there are so many ways to protect yourself, but the light bulb, for example, is one that in general people know about. Put yourself into a ball, a light bulb, but a light bulb of protection. So nothing can come in and nothing goes out. And then in a later state, there was like, yeah, but you can also ask that ball to protect you from everything that's coming from outside. Only the light can penetrate inside, and everything of you can go outside. Still rules, still rules. Yeah, it was really weird. But at that time, I bought it
Oh,
because, yeah, because it was already lighter than what it was. But seeing, as you say, that wall, nothing can come in, but nothing can go out also. But didn't that creating that idea of protecting, where is trust? Where is being? Where is infinity? We are everything. We we are. We are.
yeah.
And also there with so many modalities, I started to see the insanity also of all those rules and judgments, as though when tapping into the earth, does earth protect?
Yeah, that's just what I wanted to say, is this: take it to Earth as teacher. Earth doesn't have the need to protect herself. She's a conscious being, and as that, there is no need to protect herself. But
And
because there is no need to protect herself, there is also every possibility available to gift.
yeah, yeah. And also not only to give, but if we see what's happening now, Earth is always present with what is.
Mm-hmm.
So she can act on what is required. So
Yes.
she speaks up also when she requires something different.
Yep.
Ah, yes. only that energy, when we allow ourselves to receive that energy, being present with everything of yourself, knowing what is required, and then
being present,
acting
so
on.
being present with yourself could be a pretty scary thing. How much do I judge myself? And those are all the things I do not want to be present with.
And coming back to Earth as teacher, the more I allow myself to receive the teachings of Earth, the more ease there is,
And
and less judgment.
yeah, exactly. And what I have been experiencing is the more I am willing to look at how does the earth deal with this, that, or the other, the more I am actually becoming me.
Yeah.
Because I'm part of the earth on some level, at least from a physical level, meaning the body, I am part of the earth. But as a being, if I'm choosing consciousness and the earth is consciousness, what's the big difference? Consciousness is consciousness is consciousness.
And are we willing to hear that? Are we willing to receive that there is no difference?
Yeah.
Because still up now, I notice the moment you speak that out loud, that there is barriers coming up and going into the mental process like, yeah, but that can't be. I never hear that in that way. So is it true what she is saying? And at the same time, knowing, because I notice it in my body, that it is true.
Mm-hmm.
But how many lifetimes do we live separated from that idea that Earth is Earth and we are a little existence in a time, in a certain time, in a certain body, and more separation, separation, separation. So then going back, is it going back? It is too. It's going back and at the same time
Going forward.
going forward in
Yeah.
our evolution. So yeah.
And it's
And
also when you were talking, what came for me is how a consciousness gets expressed in different cultural costumes just because of the type of language a culture may use that is unique to that particular culture. And the other thing is how much, especially in the Western world, in any of the Christian traditions, do we see ourselves as the crown of creation? We are the superior beings. And how, what I have encountered is sort of like, how could the earth be conscious? I am conscious, which actually the earth is way more conscious than I am.
yeah, but it is, we grow up and we grew up so many lifetimes with that idea that Earth is something that not
That
exist.
what I call a rock in space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She has nothing to say. There is nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And therefore, I'm so really grateful for everything that is happening. And you know, there is a knowing also that it's not a coincidence that we are here in this lifetime, in this time of space, that we are here on earth in a body.
Yeah.
It's not coincidence. And that is a knowing. And I can't explain and I can't prove because there is nothing to prove. It is, yeah, energy
Yes.
is. And I noticed for myself that I'm coming out of that. But in the start of last year, with this pandemic and plandemic and whatever it is you want to call it, I was triggered in another way than most of those around me. As for me, it was really clear that is something not of my reality, so many lies. But what is it? But what is it? And there was also a knowing, it's up to me now. What can I choose? And even though now I'm saying it, I can't explain what that really was. But becoming more and more due to the choices I made, due to the conversations, especially our conversations through Earth, with Earth, we had already, it became more and more clear for me that, yes, but wow, how many lifetimes I already was on Earth preparing everything towards the possibilities of having a conscious living, a sustainable conscious living with Earth.
Yeah.
And when I catch that, even I couldn't explain, it took me even a while to get out of that idea that I'm still preparing. No, there is no preparation any longer needed. We start to live it. It is on Earth. All those possibilities are now available. They are here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is that what Earth is showing us now also?
And what if this pandemic is, in a way, the invitation to be who we are, actually are, not who we think we are? Because the moment we think, there is a level of separation that gets created. And, I don't want to say, to become more or any of those, because though there are some, in some way, there are implicit judgments. I'm not there yet, I'm not good enough, da 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 da. But the earth is showing us where she's at and what she's capable of doing. I mean, that's what we were shown last year. And it's also the invitation. Will you be who you are and contribute to me as I'm contributing to you? Because contribution is a two-way street, not a one-way street.
And this brings me to, brings me also like Earth is an invitation now for us to being. And what is that? Us being, but Earth is an invitation. She is really loud and clear. She's saying, I'm choosing to live. I'm choosing to go on with whatever I'm doing. It's up to you. Are you willing to go and generate also? If not, bye bye. As though we, with our bodies, we can't live truly live, because our bodies need from, not from needy, but we need a certain, how do I say, we need the earth for to go on to exist and to have a life on earth.
Yeah.
But the earth doesn't need our bodies
Nope.
to go on and living. So it's up to us now. What are we choosing?
And I just realized that what if the death rates are not due to COVID, but due to disembodying, to separate from our body by not being connected to the earth, connected with the earth, by being all mental. And as I said earlier, the moment I go into thinking, into mental, I am disembodying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, and if you extend that to expressing everything, all the rules with the masks and no flying and extend, you can't go out of whatever they want to name it, the jails they create, and it's all mental structure to stop you of to know what you know, to stop living. That's killing us because they want to prove something, whatever they want to prove. It's not up in my word, but and then as you are saying there, those mental processes, how much the disembodiment is leading into that, as you mentioned, and that is more and more the separation we see now, because yes, at the other side there are more and more people who allow themselves to be present and to not buying in any longer to what they want to do with us. So can it be that from that aspect, yeah, it is. It's not, can it be? It is that disembodiment that raises up the numbers of that. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
if I go mental and choose, when I say this is then we disembody, that means I'm choosing to get out of my body.
Yeah.
And eventually that could translate into dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the conversation. We'll see what it
Thank
does
you.
for other people. And until next time, bye bye.
Until next time.